Welcome to History Summaries. We are your one-stop channel for comprehensive, engaging, and easily digestible modules on history. Today, we delve into an intriguing chapter of modern history, the formation and evolution of the European Union. Have you ever wondered how this powerful coalition of nations came to be? What were the driving forces behind the creation of this union? How has it evolved over time? In this video, we're going to answer these questions and more, tracing the journey from the ashes of World War II to the influential geopolitical entity that the European Union is today. So fasten your seatbelts as we embark on this captivating journey through time, exploring the birth, the evolution, and the current state of the European Union. Stay tuned. Have you ever wondered how the European Union came into existence? When we look at the European Union today, we see a geopolitical entity, a union of 27 member states, formed through a series of treaties and expansions. But the birth of this union is a tale of resilience, unity, and the shared dream of peace. In the aftermath of World War II, Europe was a continent in ruins. Cities lay in rubble, economies were shattered, and the scars of the devastation ran deep. Amid this devastation, the need for peace and cooperation among European nations became more apparent than ever. The seeds of unity were sown in this period of despair, with the vision of a Europe that would stand together, not against each other. The first step towards this vision was the formation of the European Coal and Steel Community. This was not just an economic agreement, it was a commitment to peace. By pooling together resources that were crucial for warfare, namely coal and steel, the founding nations made a powerful statement. They were choosing cooperation over conflict, signaling the end of an era where these resources were used to wage wars against each other. The European Coal and Steel Community was the precursor to the European Union we know today, setting the stage for a series of treaties and expansions that would lead to the formation of the Union. The Treaty of Rome, establishing the European Economic Community, and the Maastricht Treaty, leading to the creation of the EU and the euro currency, were just some of these critical milestones. The European Union, in its essence, was born out of the desire for peace, democracy, and economic cooperation. It was the shared dream of nations that had seen the horrors of war and chose a path of unity for a more prosperous and peaceful future. Thus, in the rubble of a war-torn continent, the foundation for the European Union was laid. The European Coal and Steel Community was just the beginning. It set the stage for a far-reaching expansion from a simple coal and steel community to a broader and more integrated economic community. Imagine being in the late 50s. The air is thick with the promise of change. Europe is on the brink of something big, something that would forever change the course of its history. This significant change came in the form of the Treaty of Rome. Signed in 1957, it wasn't just another piece of paper, it was a beacon of hope, a symbol of unity, and most importantly, it established the European Economic Community. The European Economic Community was like a breath of fresh air. It was a step away from the grimy smokestacks of the coal and steel industries and a step towards a cooperative economic system. This move was significant because it was the first time European nations had come together, not just for industrial reasons, but for economic ones as well. The establishment of the European Economic Community was also a testament to the power of unity. It showed that when nations come together, they can achieve so much more than when they stand alone. It was a bold move, one that required vision, courage, and a belief in the power of cooperation. The Treaty of Rome was more than a political agreement, it was a symbol of a new era, an era where European nations were ready to put aside their differences and work together for the common good. It marked a shift from competition to cooperation, from division to unity, and from war to peace. The Treaty of Rome was a turning point, marking the transformation from an industrial alliance to an economic union. It was a leap of faith that paid off, setting the stage for the Europe we know today, a Europe that is united, prosperous, and at peace. The European Economic Community was not the end goal, but a stepping stone to something much larger. Imagine this, it's the early 90s, and Europe is on the cusp of a seismic shift. The year 1992 marks a significant milestone in the history of Europe. This is the year when the Maastricht Treaty is signed, and it's no ordinary agreement. This treaty is a game changer. It fundamentally alters the course of European history, leading to the creation of the European Union, a geopolitical entity unlike any other. The Maastricht Treaty, named after the Dutch city where it was signed, is critical for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it expands on the European Economic Community's remit, pushing for deeper political integration among member states. It introduces the concept of European citizenship, allowing for greater freedom of movement. It also sets out the pathway for the creation of a single currency, a bold and ambitious idea at the time. The idea of a single currency, the euro, is a revolutionary one. It aims to create economic stability and foster closer ties among member nations. Imagine no more currency exchanges or fluctuating exchange rates when traveling or doing business within the Union. It's a powerful symbol of unity and cooperation, a tangible demonstration of the EU's commitment to breaking down barriers and building bridges. The Maastricht Treaty's signing didn't come easy. There were debates, negotiations, and compromises, but ultimately it reflected a shared vision and commitment to a peaceful, united, and prosperous Europe. In the grand tapestry of European history, the Maastricht Treaty is a vibrant thread, weaving together diverse nations into a shared narrative of progress and unity. It marks the birth of the European Union, a union that has evolved and grown, navigating challenges and embracing opportunities. The Maastricht Treaty was a monumental moment in European history, birthing the European Union as we know it today. The European Union, once created, was not a static entity. Over the years, its structure and scope have been shaped and reshaped by a series of significant treaties, adapting to the changing needs and aspirations of its member states. One of the earliest and most impactful of these was the Maastricht Treaty of 1992. This landmark agreement transformed the European Economic Community into the European Union as we know it today. It introduced new forms of cooperation between the member state governments, for example in defense, justice, and home affairs. But perhaps most significantly, it laid the groundwork for a single currency, the euro. However, the evolution of the Union didn't stop there. The Amsterdam Treaty of 1997 and the Nice Treaty of 2001 both aimed to reform the EU's political and decision-making structures, preparing for the admission of new member states, primarily from Eastern Europe. The Lisbon Treaty of 2007 marked another significant step in the EU's evolution. It streamlined and simplified the Union's complex structures, merging the three pillars of the Union, the European Communities pillar, the Common Foreign and Security Policy pillar, and the Justice and Home Affairs pillar, into a single legal entity. This not only made the EU more efficient, but also more democratic and transparent. So you see, the European Union has been an ever-evolving entity, constantly adapting and refining itself in response to the political, economic, and social changes within and beyond its borders. Through a series of treaties, the EU evolved into a more unified and effective entity, far from the simple coal and steel community it started as. It is a testament to the power of cooperation and shared vision. But to understand the European Union, we must look further back in history. Europe's history is a rich tapestry woven from threads of power, conquest, and conflict. Over the centuries, it's been shaped by mighty empires, each leaving an indelible mark on its cultural and political landscape. The Roman Empire, for instance, was a behemoth that straddled the continent. It brought forth a unified system of law, the Latin language, and an intricate network of roads and infrastructure, many of which still stand today. The empire's fall in the 5th century led to a power vacuum, eventually filled by the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire, or Eastern Roman Empire, was a continuation of Roman governance, with Constantinople as its vibrant capital. It was a beacon of art, culture, and trade, bridging Europe and Asia. Its influence stretched far and wide, but over time it too fell, supplanted by the Ottoman Empire in the 15th century. The Ottoman Empire was a potent force that reshaped the region, introducing Islamic culture, Ottoman law, and Turkish language. It was a melting pot of different cultures and religions, a testament to its vast territorial reach. Meanwhile, in the north, the Russian Tsardom was emerging as a significant power. Its expansion across Eastern Europe and Asia marked the rise of Russia as a key player on the European stage. Each of these empires, in their own way, shaped Europe. They brought new ideas, cultures, and political structures. They built cities, waged wars, and brokered peace. They rose and fell, but their legacies endured. In the midst of this complex history, the idea of a united Europe began to take root, influenced by the experiences of the past and driven by a desire for peace, stability, and shared prosperity. The seeds of what we now know as the European Union were sown. These historical powers set the stage for the creation of a unified Europe. The idea of a united Europe is not a modern concept. Indeed, the roots of this vision can be traced back to the 19th century, a time when the continent was both physically and ideologically fragmented. It was during this period that the seeds of pan-European political thought began to germinate, nourished by the fertile soil of liberal ideas and the blossoming call for European unity. The 19th century witnessed a period of rapid industrialization and scientific advancement. With these transformations came an increased understanding of human rights, democratic governance, and the potential benefits of economic cooperation. These liberal ideas, as we know them today, became the pillars that would eventually support the structure of a united Europe. In this era, the concept of nationalism was on the rise, with individual nations seeking to assert their independence and identity. Yet, amidst this struggle for nationhood, a contrasting idea began to emerge: the idea of a united Europe. This was not a call to erase national identities, but rather a vision that saw strength in unity. It was a call to overcome centuries of conflict and competition, and to instead focus on collaboration and mutual prosperity. This pan-European thought was not just a philosophical rumination. Its proponents saw it as a pragmatic solution to the challenges of the time. They argued that a united Europe could better manage the complexities of the industrial age, promote peace through interdependence, and create a shared identity that transcended national borders. Notable intellectuals of the time, such as Victor Hugo, championed this cause, envisioning a United States of Europe. These early advocates of European unity laid the conceptual groundwork for what would eventually become the European Union. However, the path to unity was not an easy one. The idea faced resistance, and it would take 2 world wars and the devastation that ensued to underscore the urgent need for a cooperative, peaceful Europe. It was only then that the idea of a united Europe began to gain traction, ultimately leading to the birth of the European Union. The seeds of the European Union were sown long before its official formation. It was a vision born out of a desire for peace, prosperity, and unity, a vision that continues to guide the European Union today. From its humble beginnings, the European Union has grown into a formidable geopolitical entity. Today, it is a major player on the global stage, comprising 27 member states that work together to promote peace, democracy, and economic cooperation. The Union has come a long way from its roots in the coal and steel industries. It has grown into an economic powerhouse with a single market that allows goods, services, capital, and people to move freely among member states. This level of integration has created one of the world's largest and most prosperous economies. But the Union is more than just an economic entity. It's a beacon of democracy and human rights, setting high standards for its members and aspiring members alike. It's a diplomatic force, often acting as a mediator in international disputes, and it's a humanitarian leader, providing aid and support to countries in need. Yet, despite its successes, the Union faces significant challenges. Economic disparities among member states, the complexities of managing a multinational entity, and external pressures from a rapidly changing world all pose threats to the Union's stability and unity. The Union is also grappling with issues such as climate change, immigration, and the rise of populist politics. But if history has taught us anything, it's that the European Union is resilient. It's weathered economic crises, political upheaval, and even the departure of a member state. Each challenge has been an opportunity for the Union to reflect, reform, and come back stronger. The European Union stands today as a testament to the power of cooperation and unity. It's a bold experiment in transnational governance that continues to evolve and adapt. And while the path ahead may be uncertain, the Union's commitment to its founding principles remains unwavering. So, how did the European Union come into existence? Our journey today has taken us through the birth of a union, sparked with the aim of promoting peace, democracy, and economic cooperation. We've seen how it evolved from the European coal and steel community, through the Treaty of Rome, and into the European Economic Community. The Maastricht Treaty of 1992 marked a historic point, leading to the creation of the European Union as we know it, and the introduction of the euro currency. We've explored the various powers that have vied for control over Europe, from the Roman Empire to the Russian Tsardom, and how these powers have shaped the continent's history. The concept of a united Europe is not a new one. It emerged in the 19th century, fueled by liberal ideas and calls for unity. The devastation of World War II underscored the need for this unity, leading to the formation of the European Union to prevent future conflicts. Understanding the history of the European Union gives us a greater appreciation of its role in today's world and its potential for the future. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to stay updated with our historical content. Your engagement helps us create more educational videos. Thank you for watching.